Hello and welcome to a video about how did the art in the Efteling evolve. Let's dive right into the story. Once upon a time there were two girls who wanted to research the Efteling's art. The Efteling is a famous theme park in the Netherlands. It consists out of 60 attractions and is divided into different kingdoms. All the rides are inspired by a certain magical story or fairy tale. The girls had traveled back in time to around the 1950s. Since that is when it all started, with just a fairy tale forest. To start their real research, they find the first artist, Anton Pieck. After long searching, they found him. Anton Pieck looked confused, because why was there were all these strangers in his house? But he was still excited to tell them more about his art. He started talking. Hello, my name is Anton Pieck. I'm a Dutch artist who has already been drawing since I was just a little kid. I'm glad to tell you more about my art style. I'm still a very modest artist, since I don't like to make big detailed drawings. My drawings are also very romantical and magical, which fits great with the Efteling theme of the fairy tales. I also like to use neutral and pastel colors in my drawing, since it makes it more magical. I also like my drawings to present a story. It should already be there, it shouldn't be any explanation needed for it, like in my fairy tales, for example, in the fairy tale forest in the Efteling. I listened very carefully to Anton Pieck and travelled back a bit further into the future to see how it all turned out. We were amazed how much it looked like the drawings and found it truly magical. Now let us travel further in time to find out more about the next artist, Ton van de Ven.
After looking around for a while, they found Ton van de Ven. He was a little surprised at their question, but he did tell them about his art style. Hello, I am Ton van de Ven, and I work here alongside Anton Pieck. I'm very inspired by him, but I have my own art style as well. For example, my sketches are often in black and white and not fully finished pieces like Pieck's. I do use mostly neutral and pastel colors, just like Pieck. I also like to make my characters look exaggerated and cartoony, like in Dreamflight. I also have a different way of storytelling. While Pieck presents a scene from a recognizable story, I present a series of fantastical scenes and let the viewers create their own story. Another thing that's important to me is the use of movement. Everything here is so stiff, and I'm going to bring more movement and life to the park. As you can see, these are rides designed by Ton van de Ven. You can see the use of pastel and neutral colors, and the top two don't have a specific story, but you can make up your own. Now they traveled further in time to the present to visit the modern designers. There are and have been many of them, but the two girls went to visit Sander de Bruin and Jeroen Verheij, since they are working together on their newest project. I am Sander de Bruin, leader of the design team, and I work together with Jeroen Verheij. Our defining feature is something that we call immersive worlds, they explained. We design whole new themed areas around the rides with restaurants and souvenir shops to add another layer of storytelling and immerse you into the world of the story. The style still shares a lot of similarities with Pieck and Van de Ven's styles, but we also try more different types of rides, themes, and color schemes, like for example more bold colors. Here are some examples of the modern designers. You can't see it very well, but they all have, for example, restaurants around them, and the surroundings are themed according to the rides to place you into the story.
Now they had found out enough, so they decided to head home. They were exhausted but also so happy they had found out so much more about the art development in the Efteling. They now know it all started off with the modest designer Anton Pieck. He made this magical old theme, which is still seen in the Efteling today. Next for Ton van de Ven. He added a bit more movement and made it all a bit more exciting. Today, the modern designers are still working on this and making and improving the storytelling and making whole immersive worlds about it, so you can really feel like you're in a fairy tale. And they lived happily ever after.